Joe, maybe you could talk a little bit about kind of the state of victimhood and this whole concept that, going from victim to empowerment, and also this idea that life can be happening for you or to you, is something I've been thinking a lot about lately.
I imagine a lot of people are. This is part of my most current life work. I even have a new program called The New Awakening that talks a lot about this. So let me give you an example first, and this example will help people relate to where I'm coming from. Because again, if they think my life is perfect and everything just rolls, out with no imperfections, they need to rethink. They need to know the truth. It was a couple months ago that I announced that I was going to do a 3-day live in-person mastermind. And I was doing it in San Antonio, Texas. I got a resort. I got my speakers. I started announcing it, charging several $1,000s to have just 50 people or less in a closed door with me, and it would be doing a mastermind together. Exciting time. 3 days, all live. Then the pandemic hits, and we started getting word of countries being closed, like Italy. And I had people from Italy wanting to come, and people in Portugal had paid to come. And suddenly it was looking like this might not happen. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll just focus on Texas because they can just drive over. They don't have to fly. I wasn't getting anybody biting because by then people were getting nervous. And the pandemic wasn't actually even a pandemic. We had heard about the virus at that point, and more people were getting concerned before it was announced to be a pandemic, and more things actually locked down. So, Exhibit A, my live 3-day mastermind with thousands of dollars per ticket, many people already paid, is being canceled. Money's being refunded, and one of my income streams just plugged up and dried up. All right, what do we do? In my book, The Attractor Factor, I have this phrase, turn it into something good. So no matter what's going on, find a way to turn it into something good. So I looked at this and thought, well, I need to turn it into something good. All right. I decide then with my team who's helping me along the way and my business advisor who's helping me that we're going to do it as a 1-day virtual event. And people would pay, I don't remember, $300, $500. So I greatly reduced the price. I came out with great news. You don't even have to get on a plane now. All you have to do is stay right at home, right in front of your computer, and we will have a virtual mastermind. And I could even take more people because I'm not limited to the seating in the resort that I had reserved. And so I'm excited. I write the email. We put up the website. I announce it to my list, and nobody signs up. Not one ticket. None. That's Exhibit 2. And it's a failure. And I'm looking at this and going, well, what do I do now? How do I turn this into something good? And then I start thinking, okay, I'm all about service. I believe in karmic marketing, which is the phrase I use to describe giving now to receive later. And I think I've built an empire on the word free. So I decided I'm going to do a free 1-day mastermind, and I'm going to open this up to the planet, interplanetary as well, if other countries, other planets want to show up. But I'm opening this up to planet Earth. No limitation, no charge, 8-hour marathon of information, all virtually delivered. And I'm going to speak. I'm going to have Lisa Winston, my partner, speak with me, Sean Donahoe, my business strategist, speak with me, Chuck Pennington, my mastermind strategist and inner circle advisor, speak, Carolyn Harper, my assistant. She's going to run the whole thing as an MC. Started announcing that, and good Lord Almighty, Brian, 30,000 people showed up. 30,000 people. 10,000 of those people had breakfast, lunch, and dinner with us because they never left their computer. They stayed for 8 hours from morning till night until there was an 8-hour limit on Facebook, I think, and we had to get off. So we did this entire thing. So back up here and look at the overview. First of all, had I done the first attempt, I would have made a few $1,000s and touched 50 people. But because it didn't work out, I was being pushed or pruned or tweaked to think about it differently. And I thought, well, I can still do it for some people, make it virtual, save money, and still make some money. Nobody bought. I'm getting the message I need to do something else. What do? I'm still looking for the good. I'm still looking for how do I turn it into something good. And I end up with the third idea, which is give the whole freaking thing away and give it to anybody who wants to show up and put it online. There's no cost to anybody. And we know they're all at home anyway. And I reached 30,000 people, which was more than I had ever reached. I told you about speaking to 19,000 people in Peru. I reached more than that. The hometown where I grew up had 10,000 people in it. I reached 3 times as many people by turning it into something good. Now, that story is revealing many different things. First of all, I don't know that there's ever really a failure. I think that there's always feedback, and the feedback we get, we use it and we tweak to find out what is the universe telling us? What is the new possibility here? What can we create that maybe wasn't created before? What can we do that maybe wasn't done before? And I was led intuitively, intellectually, spiritually, however you want to describe it, to doing this 30,000 8-hour free kind of event. This kind of thinking is available to everybody watching. This is available to everybody sitting at home. They may not know how to do this yet, but just playing with the idea, and I want to say 2 more things here before you jump in, Brian, because I seem to be on a roll and you seem to be letting me go, so I'm going to keep talking. One is, Jason Mraz came out with a new song, I believe yesterday, called Look for the Good. I had recorded a song called Look for the Light. I believe these concepts of looking for the good and looking for the light, even when it looks like the most despicable times, the darkest times, the scariest times, the unhealthiest times, the unfinancially wealthy times, we got to look for the good. We got to look for the light. We got to turn it into something good because the potential is always there. It's up to us to see it. The other thing I wanted to say, and it might sound odd at first, but you've interviewed Wim Hof, the guy, the Iceman, and I've never seen any of the interviews. I've never seen him. I've never jumped in water with him. I've never read his book, but I know what his basic philosophy is. And there have been times when the shower didn't warm up, and I just said, well, screw it. Wim Hof goes in ice. Step in the shower when it's ice cold. There have been times when in Texas, the morning water, I have a small pool, and the water in the pool has been not freezing, literally freezing, but I mean, pretty darn cold. And I go, hey, Wim Hof does it, and jump in. The point being, just having the idea of doing something I otherwise wouldn't have done has enabled me to do that cold water experience. Now, at some point, I'll figure out what he's talking about, and I might do an ice challenge. My point is, as I'm talking about Jason Mraz, Look for the Good, my song, Look for the Light, and I tell these stories, whether it's of homeless to billionaire guy in Thailand. His name is Andres Pira, by the way. His book is called Homeless to Billionaire. And that story, my stories, these stories of triumph, these stories of turning struggle into success, I want the people sitting at home to take them and go, if that's possible, then something is possible for me too. If they can defy the odds, then why can't I? If they can create while at home, why can't I? I want them to really take it in as this is not about Brian, this is not about Joe, this is not about Andres, this is not about any of the other people I've mentioned throughout this interview. It's about you and what you take with this inspiration and information.